Good morning, Theodore.
Good morning.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes. You want to try getting out of bed? Get up!
You're too funny.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Ben Mankiewicz, Christy, Lemire, Alonso, Duralde, Matt Atchity. We're all here. Big time for the end of the year movies. Some good stuff. This is as Joan Jett would say.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
So this is the latest film from Spike Jonze, and it is set in the recognizably near future in Los Angeles. A little bit different, but not, people aren't wearing jetpacks or anything. But what people are doing is using very sophisticated operating systems for their computers that have human voices, and Joaquin Phoenix gets a new one and falls in love. Take a look.
The woman that I've been seeing, Samantha, she's an operating system.
You're dating an OS? What is that like?
I want to learn everything about everything. I want to discover myself.
I want that for you too.
Keep going. Keep going.
I love this movie so much.
It's pretty amazing.
It is sweet and melancholy and funny and says so much about who we are and how we use technology and how we connect with other people, and I just thought it was lovely the whole way through.
I thought, based on the description that I had going in, I try very hard to know so little about these movies going in, but I knew it was Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with his operating system, right? And I thought this is going to be another incredibly quirky Joaquin Phoenix role, but this might be his most grounded person that he's played in some time. This is a totally identifiable guy that I think is pretty easy to relate to. And Scarlett Johansson, who plays the voice, and was never seen.
Right.
She's fantastic.
She has to create an entire character just with her voice and be a believable human being, or as such as it is, in his life. And she totally is.
Right, and not, Scarlett Johansson is an actress who can rely on her looks to get a lot done. This is something that you have to believe that he would fall in love not seeing Scarlett Johansson, like not having any idea what she looks like. I loved this movie.
Yeah.
This movie's amazing.
Yeah. And the additional challenge for Scarlett Johansson was she was actually overdubbing another actress.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Samantha Morton was originally the voice, and they, she was on set. She did all the conversing back and forth with Joaquin Phoenix, and then in the post they decided that it didn't sound right, it wasn't working, so they brought her in to overdub the entire thing. So she had to work with somebody else's. Yeah. So she wasn't there, and she had to work with sort of somebody else's rhythms, and so it's amazing. Although here's the funny thing: when I went into the movie, I also try to avoid, knowing stuff. I didn't know that she was the voice. I thought it was Rashida Jones the whole time. I don't know why. I swear that's why I thought it was. I was like, oh, Scarlett Johansson. Well, so much the better then. This is an amazing. This is my favorite Spike Jonze movie, hands down. I think this is the movie where he likes to tackle big ideas, and I mean not big ideas, but sort of weird, challenging, how do you tell this story kind of ideas.
This counts as a big idea, I think.
Right, but I'm saying, but if you look at something like, Where the Wild Things Are, or John Malkovich, he likes a challenge. He likes to sort of do something that's off kilter, and I think this is the one where he really knocks it out of the park.
It's like his least quirky movie in a lot of ways.
And yet he's tackling a very.
I think maybe he makes it seem less quirky.
But you can imagine that
works.
But you can imagine that kind of technology existing very, very soon. Yeah. You can imagine people actually falling in love with their operating systems. Like it's not quirky like being John Malkovich, where we're not going to climb into John Malkovich.
That's what I was saying. It's just like you think it's going to be incredibly weird, and it isn't. Like that's one of the great things about setting up this vision of the future, which is like 2021. Like it's not we don't know, but it's. I mean, although it's weird that the only thing that happens in the future is that Siri gets a lot smarter, and every man starts wearing pants like Tom Selleck in Magnum PI. Like everybody's pants start under the ribs.
It's farther in the future than that, because every time they cut to like cityscapes, it's a much more built up. It's almost like a cleaned up daytime version of what you see in Blade Runner. Like it's a lot more taller buildings. There's high flying skyways. So this is this would be 70, 80, 90 years into the future.
I didn't get that. I mean, I hear you on that. That's a fair point, and it is a built-up Los Angeles.
20 or 30. I mean, that's what I liked about it, was that it was like just a little, like just a nudge ahead.
Progress is not like if it is 70 years in the future. Not that much is different.
Well, but
guys are still getting together and watching ESPN and complaining.
I think it's a more grounded. It's a grounded future. It's a grounded idea in that it's not like you said. It's not. There's no jetpacks. It's not flying cars. Yeah. It's not like, look, it's the future. Here's the cool stuff. It really gets to the core idea, which is artificial intelligence and what people talk about, the singularity, and at what point if and it's not computers becoming sentient and turning into Skynet and killing everybody. It's like it treats the idea of an artificial intelligence with a certain amount of respect.
It does.
And the relationship that Joaquin Phoenix has with Samantha is a very real relationship. And if that was not about his operating system, you could look at this almost as his rebuttal to Lost in Translation, almost his side of that story. It's a very personal relationship about somebody getting over a past relationship, which he was married. He was married to Sofia Coppola. Right, and Lost in Translation is
I see.
somewhat about Sofia Coppola and her director husband Spike Jonze off doing his own thing in Japan and leaving her by himself.
That's
leaving
really
her by,
fascinating.
right.
You just totally blew my mind just now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I
that's
had something to say and now it's gone.
That's the double feature. That's the double feature to watch, and ScarJo's in both of them.
That's good. Oh my God. And that too. Oh my God. No, what I was going to say was that it's not Skynet trying to kill us, but the operating system does interfere in his life in ways that are kind of creepy, but also ultimately helpful, right? Like she takes control of his life in some ways, but it's in a benevolent kind of way.
And I like that the movie doesn't go for, what I love about Spike Jonze writing here is that he doesn't go for the obvious. It's not it doesn't turn into the stalker. All of the pitfalls.
It's not Electric Dreams.
It's not Electric Dreams.
It was Electric Dreams walking into it, right?
But it's she doesn't turn into the stalker controlling his life. No. She doesn't turn into the meddling manipulator trying to get him to feel a certain way. Like there is a mutual respect. They treat each other like real people, and that relationship has a real evolution. And I bought it and.
I totally agree. And what's interesting is that and everyone else buys it too. Like they don't, like there's no moment of,
oh my God,
you're dating an operating system. What's wrong with you? His parents aren't screaming at him. Nobody is like it. They just everyone's reaction to almost everything is so wonderfully believable, but yet unbelievable now. But somehow he has created it where we completely accept whatever this world is, except for the weird pants choice.
That would distract from the story he's focusing on, right? If it became about people around Joaquin Phoenix reacting to him dating the OS, then that becomes the story, and it's less about that.
Right, but hard not to write. I mean, but a great skill and deftness to be able to write that world.
Right. But what you were saying about how it being as quirky as the other ones, I think what it is he has this one quirky thing, but then treats it with the utmost seriousness so that everything else surrounding it, is recognizably human.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it
I just
all the
thought
more
that
powerful.
every time I started to expect that this would go down, like every time I thought I could predict what was going to happen next, and he'd throw something up, I'm like, okay, here's where the story's going to go now. She's going to become the needy girlfriend. She's going to become the stalker. She's going to get distracted by the college professor.
I'm not going to be ignored.
She's going to get distracted by the older man that she's met. At no point does it go that way, and I loved that.
Yeah, there's a really lovely friendship with Amy Adams too, who has her own relationship with her own operating system, which is very, very different, but also as believable. And she's a great sounding board for him, and totally different in this from American Hustle, which is out right now too.
In 20 seconds or less, because I don't think I can ask this question without giving any spoiler. Some of the people who've seen it that I know sort of didn't like that ending. Did you have any problem with the ending?
I liked it.
Did it peter out at all? Did it deliver solid?
I think the ending was honest.
Yeah.
I think it may not be as satisfying as what people may have wanted, but I think it's honest based on the relationship that was happening.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was really poignant and really sweet, and handling that last shot is really lovely.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And like the rest of the movies, avoids cliches, and I think it's honest, and it gets the ending it earns. You know what? I was low with my initial number. I'm giving this a 10.
Wow.
This is my favorite movie of 2013.
Wow. It's number 3 on my list.
It's my top 25.
Yeah.
You're at a 9.
I'm at a 9.2.
I'm at a 9.4.
You guys are all too low.
Yeah. I did give Anchorman a 7.2. A 9.5 for her. It's just excellent. Hard to imagine anybody not liking this.
And worth seeing on the big screen.
Oh, it's really pretty
gorgeous.
too. Yeah.